So, Minecraft. There's a game I have not played in a very long time, and if I do end up uploading this, this will be, I think, the first non-Warframe related content on my channel. Pretty sure. But yeah, I remember nothing about this game. I used to play it quite frequently a long time ago. I'm on the same server I used to play on, which is run by a group of my old friends. Sort of comes up for a month, goes down for 3 or 4, comes back. Just as player interest comes and goes. Been fairly consistent over the years. Every time it comes back, it's with a different mod pack. So the one we're in at the moment has about 150 mods, which is normal. I think I've only used about a third of those, and a lot of the ones I used to rely on aren't in it, so I don't really know where I'll be going with it. But the whole point of this series is just basically for me to have something to talk about, so I can practice speaking and doing at the same time, because that's something that I've never been good at. So I'm just going to be stumbling through it. This isn't going to be educational in any way. I'm just going to be relearning the ropes, trying out a couple of mods, trying to talk as much as possible. Can't plant mushrooms apparently. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I don't really expect my Warframe community to follow me over. Because of that, obviously these videos will get very little hits, I imagine. But it's more about self-improvement than improving my channel, I think. But who knows, maybe people are interested in this. So I've basically forgotten everything, as I said, so it's going to be quite slow to begin with. I'm going to relearn all the hotkeys and such. Pickaxe, the basic recipes. And yeah, I spawned, I think, about 2,000 blocks south of here, and I just ran in a straight line till I found a place with nice grassy plains. I like this color green. There's like a dip behind me that I'm gonna just cut a hole in the side of and live in there to begin with. It's kind of the first thing I do every single time that I join a Minecraft server. I will join in and then I'll spend hours just running laps around the map until I find somewhere I want to live. Which only took about half an hour this time. Yeah, that's what's going on. There's no one else in here at the moment. There has been a dedicated group of about 15 people that come back to this server. It's only been up for a couple of days. I think it went up today actually. So I don't know how many of those monitor the website that it's advertised on. So I need cobblestone tools. Gonna need food, almost dying already. Yeah, it's very surreal being back in here. There's the wooden tools come first, then stone, then there's iron, then there's all these other kinds of materials you can build everything out of. And the goal for me today, I think, is to work on the Tinker's Construct smeltery, which is like a very basic tool making station, I suppose. You can customize everything and update them as you see fit. Murdering all these innocent animals to get some food so I don't die. Didn't notice if there were any sheep floating around, which I should have checked. Not seeing any. It's getting late. I think because I'm the only one on the server I could skip it if I had a bed, but I don't. Means I'm going to be swarmed by mobs. There's also a new combat system that I haven't played with, so if I... well, that was a bad example, but if I spam attack, it does less damage than if I charge each attack. You can see under the crosshair there's a little sword icon charging. And I think if you are in mid-air when you hit something, it counts as a critical hit as well. But I don't know if that's true or not. Seems to be. It feels like there's more hearts coming up when I do that. The zombie. First mob of the new server. Cows everywhere. I haven't really explored this area at all. There's a creeper. Just chose it because I like the terrain. Get out of it. And there's this dip here, which I'm going to live in. But don't kill myself, because God knows where I'll spawn. But we're back at the other end of a 2,000 block run. Come here. Like there's a ravine below us, which is good. Might just punch into this wall. Set up my first house. Clear out a bit of an area. Put some more cobble so I can cook all that food before I end up killing myself. So what do we got? 10. Furnace. We can just use wood to cook stuff to begin with. No zombies allowed, my friend. Hear him out there. So using wood, ideally you would use coal to begin with, because wood burns up faster, but we don't have any, so yeah, I'll work on that. This is my piece of safe pink wool, safety wool, picked up on the way here. Probably end up cutting out heaps of mining, heaps of wasting time, because I tend to do that a lot. Maybe some of the aesthetics when I actually start building stuff. Just watching that health bar down the bottom. So the hearts on the left are your health, the steaks or hams on the right, I suppose, is your saturation, I think. So I'm not sure if it works the same way in vanilla Minecraft, that is. But you need to have full saturation to generate hearts, and the process of generating hearts will drain your saturation. It's a never-ending cycle, really. There's coal right here. You can see at the top left, I think that's called whaler, and it just gives you information about whatever you're looking at. So that's coal ore, that's stone. It tells you what tools are effective on it. So if I'm holding my shovel, effective tool is not the shovel, it's the pickaxe. So all kinds of helpful things like that. It'll tell you how much energy you've got in capacitors and such. But we'll get to that in the future, I suppose. I'm probably going to use immersive engineering to get my first power. I don't know if it's really the most efficient way, but I found it to be the most fun. We used to play infinity mode on hardcore, so everything was very intertwined and very difficult to make any kind of progress. Obviously because of that it felt a lot more rewarding. I think this is just a very normal server, which is fine. Though I probably would have preferred to have that other difficult mode back. You know, beggars can't be choosers. This is copper, thermal foundation. Don't know if I said it or not, but I've got no real idea of what mods are in here. I just looked for a couple that I used to rely on and found that they weren't when I talked to Hero about it. Hero is the server admin. He said that he had equivalent mods in, so they do basically the same thing, but they're not here. So I used to rely a lot on applied energistics, and they just get dark on me. Applied energistics and Ender IO, and neither of those are in here, but apparently I think there's refined storage to replace AE, and then there's, I can't remember what the other one is. It said there's another equivalent, so eventually I'll get into those. What do we got? I need to make some torches. It's getting dark again. Let's see. So I need to get, I'm going to do heaps of mining. I'm going to focus on Tinker's Construct to begin with, which I don't have the book for, and I think I can make that. I'm not sure. Not enough for 2. And that will let me build bigger tools, so the pickaxe will dig out that 1 by 1, but you can eventually make a hammer which will dig out a 3 by 3. Obviously far more efficient for mining, so I'm going to work towards that. That is my first goal, and to do that I need to get clay, gravel and sand to begin with. And you combine them in just a regular crafting grid to make grout, I think. And then you cook them up into bricks, which will make the smeltery out of. You can see you can craft in here, but you've only got a 2 by 2 window, so you can create things like a crafting table that take a 2 by 2. Then the crafting table itself has a 3x3, so you can make bigger stuff. You can also put that in here, that turns into a crafting station. So if you put something in here, it'll stay in here and you can see it. It doesn't drop on the ground like if it was a regular crafting table. Interestingly, it's connecting to the furnace, which is not something I knew it could do. Oh, living then. Plenty of food, bit of leather. Just going to dump everything that I'm not using in there for now. Furium Essence, I'm not sure what that is. So you see at the top in the white is like obviously what the item is, so that's a feather. And then underneath that the blue text is a mod that it comes from. So blue is just regular Minecraft. Here the blue is Thermal Foundation, because that's where that came from. Minecraft again, obviously coal and wood. Eggs, all these vanilla items come from there, and then that comes from Mystical Agriculture, which I've never heard of. And I don't know why it's gold, no idea if it's rare or not. But we'll find out in the future. That is a creeper. They love to explode. Oh. Seems they don't do entity damage, which is good, because otherwise all this shit would have just blown up. I really need to get a bed so that I can skip the night. I think there is commands in the server so that you can also skip it, but I think you have to pay for those, which is fairly normal. Seen that before, like VIP commands so you can teleport and whatnot. I don't remember seeing any sheep. There's one over there, I think, unless that's just a very white cow. Also, never seen that before either. There are a lot of enemies here. A thatch roof. Never seen those little huts. Can take full damage, so being careful-ish. Enemies everywhere. Convenient step. Zombie, skeleton, mini skeleton. Hey buddy. Run away! Oh, the days come out. The sun's come out. When the sun comes out, enemies start burning. Let's see. Zombies and skeletons. I think creepers can still live in it. Getting low. See the pillars of fire everywhere. Going on a venture looking for sheep. I've got one piece of wool, but I need 3 to make a bed. 3 wool, 3 planks. There's also a minimap top right, which is a mod that I haven't used before. Pretty sure Poison Ivy just poisoned me. As it's wont to do, but I didn't see it, so... There's gravel I need for my smeltery. I think there's about a 25% chance that when you break a piece of gravel you get flint instead of the gravel. Happens again. It's just that little black item that pops up instead of these cubes. I will eventually... there you go. It's a flint. Which is useful. Not what you want at the moment, but it is useful. Probably end up needing a couple hundred blocks of gravel, but I won't get it all now. Maybe the top layer here. I think there is a waypoint system as well. Probably should put a waypoint down in that little crevice where I'm starting out. Look at how to do that. Come on. That'll do. Not sure if there's some kind of hunger mod or if I'm just burning through food really quickly. Maybe because I keep getting shot. Probably got something to do with it. Those are pigs. That is a black pig. I don't think I've ever seen before. So Minecraft is a bit of a murder simulator to begin with. Just have to live with it. Not sure what this tree is. That is a rubber wood tree from Tech Reborn. You can see in the Whaler window at the top of the screen. It also tells you what mod it's from. Blue text, like I was mentioning before. I don't think I've ever seen that mod. Couple of cows. So it was a bit laggy. It's, like I said, it's only been up for a day or so, so all the chunks are still being generated. And as I'm exploring more, I think I'm generating more. Yeah, that's a thing. There's the cows. No sheep to be seen. Keep an eye out for sand. Actually, I think I saw a beach on my map before. I'm not sure where clay spawns. Obviously underwater. I'm not sure if it's particular water. It's just regular dirt I'm picking up. It is. Oh, it has a distinct texture, but I don't remember what it is. Just gonna have to search every little pool that I come to, I suppose. If we get lucky. Also, when your saturation goes down, your hunger, whatever, you can't sprint, can't jump. Well, you can still jump, I think. Can't sprint. Oh, poison ivy. Can I get myself killed? A lot of flowers that I've never seen before. A lot of fauna. That is a slime island. And that is a deer. From Roots 2, which I've also never heard of. Don't seem to drop anything. I really just need a couple of sheep. Right. It's clear lag again. There's everything about every 5 minutes just to prevent lag. More deer. Water, but I don't think that's clay. Poison ivy. Guarantee it's gonna kill me one day. Spider. He looks hostile. There you go, that's clay. Just a dark, slightly darker grey than sand. Every time you break a block, it looks like getting 4 little balls of it. I think you can cook them up separately just to create bricks, and then you can combine them with other stuff to make alloy, and then bricks. When you're underwater, everything mines a lot slower. There's also water physics. You can see the water flowing, so that'll pull anything towards that corner. Here's my shovel. Let's take a bit more. Actually, I don't think there's too much more here, so I might as well get all of it. The spider leaves me alone. Just enjoy playing Minecraft because it's very calming, very different to what I'm used to playing. Murder isn't really a necessity. The game isn't built around murder. It's just calming. Instead of focusing on how to kill stuff in the most efficient manner, you spend your time trying to build stuff. Trying to advance up the tech tree, magic tree. I don't know if there's Thorncraft or blood magic in this pack. I assume there is. Never really got too heavily into those. Well, Thorncraft I did. God, I've done that research so many times. Not looking forward to doing it again. You get some pretty cool stuff from it, so I'll probably have to. Don't know how much of that I'll do on camera. Don't know how much of this I'll cut out either. There's a little sheep. Everybody. Back one. I think all the wool is interchangeable in any kind of crafting recipe. Like pink isn't superior to white or black or whatever. Sure, what these big ass bushes are. Never seen those before. Rose bushes, of course. I don't know what they do though. And what they're used in. More pigs. The weapons seem to have an air of effect as well. I've never experienced before. Like I'm hitting these pigs that are right next to each other, but I'm hitting them both at once. Melon? Watermelon? The sand. I don't have a shovel, so I was going to build another one before I do that. I think that's right next to me. I think I'm just up on this ridge side of it. Oh, and up you go. I found that my spacebar, for some reason, is extremely loud when I play this game, but not Warframe. Okay, I'm over here. Remember that weird ass cottage? So I don't know if it's actually... Yeah, I don't really know why that is. Assume maybe my thumb's in a different place when I need to be parkouring like I do in Warframe. And here I just sort of smash it in the middle. And that's why it's so much louder, so I need to kind of keep that in the back of my mind. Not do that. Some wood. And there's a bed. A white bed from Quark. Interesting. Usually that's red and it's just from Minecraft. Obviously that's something new. I've never seen a white one before. Imagine different color walls will create different color beds now. I don't know why they implemented that, but they did. Also these things. Deposit merge, stock, sort. I know where that's from. I used to be able to sort with these. Cool. As I get that cooking. I need to make another tool. Another shovel, that's right. Sticks. I don't know why I made that out of wood. Whatever, just gonna get that sand. Not sure how much ambient noise my microphone's picking up. I can hear people walking around in my apartment. Not sure if you can. You might be able to when I'm speaking. So I guess the microphone won't pick it up. It won't be loud enough to actually trigger that. I hope. I can keep that to a minimum. Probably dig up half a stack of sand. When I say half a stack, that means 32. Full stack is 64. Everything's done by 8, 16, 32, 64 usually. World pre-generation. I didn't really read that. I think it's just saying the server's a bit slow because it's still generating all the chunks. I don't know how much of that is done before players actually get in. You see down the bottom, night shift now in effect. Vote yes, no. I don't know if I can vote. Yeah, no permission. So I imagine there's some kind of premium. You get on the website, pay $5 or whatever. Get a couple of extra commands. I don't know if I can set homes or not. Maybe I'll try that when I get back. My shovel just broke then. All the tools have durability. I'm sure all of this is common knowledge to most of you, but I need something to talk about. All the tools have durability, so they will break over time. The tougher materials will obviously last longer, like diamond will last a lot longer than iron, iron will last longer than stone, stone will last longer than wood. It's just how it's always been. There's also plenty of other things like aluminium and brass and copper and I think ardite and cobalt are in here. There's magnesium. All different kinds of stuff that's worked with all different kinds of mods. I'm looking forward to getting into some of that. Bit of automation. Such. How much gravel did I get? Right. So I have a stack of everything to begin with. This goes, I think, wherever in a crafting grid. Creates grout. And at a 1:2 ratio, so I put a 1 stack of all those ingredients in and I got 2 stacks of grout back. How much cobble do I have? coal. Build a couple so that it'll cook up a bit quicker. Goes in there. It goes in there. What's that cooking? Chops. And dark out there again. Skip that. Usually when there's multiple people in the server, you have to have at least 50% of them sleep at the same time to skip the night. Like clipping through the roof. But because I'm the only one here, I can just control it. Yeah, seared bricks. I think we also need some glass, which you can just get by cooking sand. Just do a bit more excavating while I'm waiting for that. No idea how big I want this to be. Always just sort of, whenever I build, I usually build with the terrain. So it's a bit abnormal for me to be digging into it, but why not? God, I already dug that. There was a ravine somewhere. I don't remember where. So I need to get some iron, upgrade these tools, get some armor. I think there is leather. Could make leather armor. Get that out. Glass in. Don't know how much glass I need, probably more than that. Pickaxe, because that's about to break. I need more wood. Dirt. Put that in as a building block. I'm gonna need to get more. Let's just check out this cave. It's marble. I think that's just aesthetic. Copper, more coal. Zombie and a spider. And a creeper. It's aluminium. With a different texture. I've never seen it with that texture before, even though it's from Thermal Foundation, which is a mod I have seen. I'm not sure why they've changed that. Okay. So the deeper underground you get, usually the rarer resources you can find. So like I was finding aluminium and copper up here. But I wouldn't ever find like diamond or some iron. You'd never find diamond at this level. You can see under the map it has my... Well, it's supposed to have my Y level. It seems to be bugged. Great. But there's... I think you can go 64 blocks above sea level and 64 down. I don't know if that's changed with modern Minecraft, but you go 64 down, you'll find bedrock, which you can't mine through usually. There are a few ways, but normally you can't. Oh, that's iridium. I thought that was coal. You see that's taking a lot longer to break. So when I did break it, I didn't get it. Which is because my tool is like a lower tier than whatever that is. So like if I build a block of diamond, I won't be able to break through that with a stone pickaxe. I would need at least iron, I think. Not too bothered with copper to begin with. I don't remember what that's so useful for. Didn't build a shovel either. More gravel. So this is just a dead end maybe? There's some more coal. Okay, it goes a lot further. Look at all this coal. Imagine I'll be using a lot of it to begin with. I'm not going to be rushing through anything like a lot of people want to do. You can get steam power to begin with, or very manual power. You literally just hit a block for a while, it charges up. I think that's called a clockwork engine. Something like that. Also, I don't know how dark this will be on YouTube's after YouTube's rendering. Like I can barely see in there, but I don't know if you'll be able to see it all. Come on, let me out. Alright. Get out of here. So I got some iron. If you cook it in a smelter, it is a smelter. When I say that, I mean a furnace. Is that glass? So if I put a piece of iron ore in there, it'll turn it from one ore into one ingot. There are ways to like refine it further. Oh, you stopped. So you can take one piece of ore and like crush it up and clean it out, and then when you cook it you'll get 2 or even 3 pieces. So obviously that's far more efficient. And I think the Tinker's Construct smeltery can do that as well. I think it's a 2-to-1 ratio, 1-to-2 ratio, sorry. That's what we're working on first. Yeah, as well cook all that up, make some very basic tools with it. I'll make the smeltery in here, I guess. I need to dig out some more room. And as you go up the tool tier grades, so I'm using a stone pickaxe at the moment. If I was using a diamond one or a cobalt one or whatever, it would mine a lot quicker. In the same way that stone mines a lot quicker than wood. I don't really have any plans for what I'm building. It'll be very basic to begin with. So for example, actually I don't think I've got any wood left. None at all, just 1 plank. Okay. We're going to get some more. Eventually I'll set up, well, probably in the near future I'll set up a tree farm. I don't need to keep doing this. We'll build a lumber axe, I think they're called. And you can just chop out the bottom block and the whole tree will come down. And here's a spider. Leave me alone, buddy. Usually where there's leaves there's wood. I think there's a rule that leaves can't exist apart from wood for about 4 blocks. I think these bees are stinging me. It's a forest hive from forestry. Something I've never got into. Probably look into it this time. Get another half a stack of wood maybe. Whatever saplings drop. You can see all the leaves decaying because all the wood's gone. Then whatever the spawn radius is, which I think is 4, but I'm not sure. And as they decay, like you can just break them manually. Leave me alone. You can just break them manually and they'll drop saplings or apples depending on what kind of tree it is. But if you just break the wood it will decay and it will still drop the same amount of stuff. So I got 9 saplings there, but only break a couple of leaves. You can just slap saplings in the ground wherever you want. They'll grow over time. You could also get bone meal from killing skeletons and crushing up their bones. And then if you use that on a tree, I don't think it's guaranteed anymore. I think you might have to use a couple, but it will like instantly grow them. I think you can use it on grass too. You can grow extra flowers and whatnot. I don't know what I wanted the wood for. Tools, I suppose. Pull those out. Next. So it's not massively faster, but it is definitely noticeable. Aluminium. We'll need some of that in the near future to make casts with the smelter that I'm building now, you need copper and aluminium to do it. You can do it with gold, but obviously gold is more expensive and rare than those two materials, so better just to make the alloy and use that. Coal mine right in my house. Plenty of it. See, as I get further and further away from the light source, it's getting darker and darker. Enemies will spawn in the dark. There's a hotkey to show what that is, but I'm not sure. Yep. Screenshot. HUD on and off. Third person. Yeah, no idea what it is. Might be bound to the same key as my recording key, so if I press that, this will cancel capture. Obviously not what I want to do. But I know there's a key for it. It'll show you like red and yellow X's on the ground. Red ones the enemies will spawn in. Bunch more torches. Stayed in there because I forgot that was a thing. I think I need a... I don't remember how big the constructs are. I think maybe 5 by 5. 5 by 5 meaning 5 blocks in each direction. I'll just mine out bigger than I think I need. And conveniently, copper and aluminium, right where I'm going to be building it. Okay. Well, this is done. So if you put them in a group, you get bricks. I think circle creates the controller, which as it said was the brains of the smeltery. Smeltery drain, also need the faucet, which attaches to the drain, which you use to drain it, obviously. Not sure what else we need. We need more blocks as well. I'm just going to dig out a 3 by 3 here. Because you need to have a base made out of this, and you need to have a long like this, but you don't have to do the corners, so you need 3 on each side, including the controller and the drain. It's a red line. It's from all my button mashing before. It's showing the chunks. F4. So a chunk is a 16 by 16 block. You can see, like if I move over here, it'll highlight this block instead. It's chunk. And the player entity will load, I think about 9 or 12 chunks in a circumference around it. So if I, for instance, had something smelting in here, here's the copper, and if I left that circumference, that would freeze because the server wouldn't be loading it anymore, just to improve load times and such. But there are things called chunk loaders or spawn loaders that will keep them loaded without, even with the absence of a player. Obviously, so things like this will just keep going when you're not near them. A controller, a drain, just a regular brick. I suppose I'll put it side. Doesn't matter at all, but a drain down. Have any more bricks? I think there is a tank, some glass in there. Yes, there is. You need to fill that up with lava because that's the fuel that will melt whatever you put in it. Too short. Now you can see that lit up. It's because it's recognizing it as a valid and complete structure. So if I busted this drain, it turns off again. And now that it is full, you have a little interface in here. So you can place that in here, see it in the real world, and as it melts it'll fill up this internal buffer. I need to find lava before I can do any of that. Lava is usually down, so I'm gonna have to go mining. Put another pickaxe before we do. I suppose a bit of a shovel as well, just in case. Oh, okay. Got the iron to spare, so we're making a sword as well. How do I just dump as much as I can in there? I think if I hit R, sort in this as well. How do I make a door? How do I make a door? Well, that gave me 3 of them. Plate. So that would just apply a redstone signal in its radius, which is basically the same thing as just right clicking on it. I don't know if that'll work for me or not. Got another chest. Where'd that come from? See all the planks staying in there? I'm gonna keep 1 block of that. This. Keep that. That force it. Just plug in. Right on the front of that, we'll have to put a little basin or table below it. Not sure where that ravine was. I think there was another little hole somewhere around here. Maybe this one. Looks like it is. The spiders fall on me. The benefit of a ravine is that you don't have to mine it yourself, which is obviously quicker. And there's usually ores like this just sticking out of the wall. So I think, I've never seen Tech Reborn before, but I think rubies can be used to make tools similarly to diamond in vanilla, the iron. And they will have, I don't think they have the same durability as diamond, but they will mine quicker than stone or iron. And because I don't think they have much use aside from that, so that's what you use it for, and you save up your minerals for more important things. This is osmium ore from Mechanism, which is a very good mod. That's iridium, which I tried to mine before from Tech Reborn with a stone pickaxe and it broke. Because I had the iron one, it let me pick it up. Holy crap. And there's lava. Perfect. So I gotta work our way down there. Digging into the walls whenever we can. This is bauxite, which I think is basically just aluminium. But because it's from another mod, different name, different metadata and such. Doesn't really matter too much. There's a zombie somewhere. What is this? Prosperity ore from Mystical Agriculture. Never heard of that either. Could be a problem. Come out. I'll smack him down the pit, but too smart for that. Dropped some solidified experience from Actually Additions, which I've also never heard of, and I missed some ruby up there. There's probably quick ways to do this. Do not remember what they are. What is that? Black quartz ore? Thing I've never heard of. Also a fan of sustainable infrastructure, so if I want to get back up, I can. If I want down again, I can. Not always constantly building stacks up and down. There's magnesium from Nuclearcraft, never used. Zombie below me or above me? Yeah, imagine that'll come in handy. I think that's uranium, which I have used before, but in a different mod. grab a bit of it while we're here. Usually, I'm not going to go out of my way to gather it all, but wouldn't hurt to have a couple of pieces. That was always useful. There's galena ore, which I've also never heard of. A couple of that. Lead. And there's also multiples of the same type, so this texture is from nuclear craft. There's also lead from like thermodynamics and thermal expansion, and they both have different ones. But if you melt it down in a smeltery or whatever, they all end up being the same thing. Shoot me off the edge. So wearing armor. Get out of my face. So your health only regenerates when your saturation's full. Seems to do it pretty quickly when it is full though, so that's good. Iron is like the very bare necessity, you use it all the time. Osmium, silver. That's lead from thermal foundation, which looked different to another one that I was mining before. Basically the same thing. Gold. Got a Tower of Pimps maybe. Silver or lead. Take it. I'm gonna go exploring too hard. Thorium, never heard of. Or ruby. I'm gonna grab ruby because then I won't have to spend iron on tools. Britannia, it's a magic mod. Do some very cool things with that, make some nice balls and stuff. Balls? Can't say that word. Hey. And baubles will have like magical effects and stuff, so you can run faster or jump higher. You can also get one so it's like kind of like vacuum in Warframe. So instead of having to touch everything, it'll just get sucked up from like 4 or 5 blocks away. Which I don't need to tell you is fucking awesome. Gotta get into that later. Probably not super late. Sometime in the near future, but I'm not rushing for it. Slowly getting there. I also just realised I don't have a bucket, so even when I do get there, I can't pick it up. Do I have... I don't have any wood, so I can't actually make one down here. I don't think I've ever seen clay built into the wall before, it's always near water. Have I been in here? I have. Alright, so we made it all the way down. Now go all the way back up and build a bucket. Come back down and grab it. But I'd have more cobblestone than I do, but apparently not. I'll chuck that cobble there so I always know where it is. The entrance is, not the cobble. I'm not sure if I had iron ingots left. I've got 2, so I need one more in there. Was it? Just dump everything. Got a ruby. I already had sticks, but first. Ruby pickaxe. Those will burn up the rest of that one first. Another piece of iron. It's 3, don't need the clay. Bucket. Then back down there and grab it. Grab some of that lava so we can start melting stuff. I want to grab that ruby. That iron over there as well. That fell all the way to the bottom, so I'll go and grab that. Hopefully it didn't roll into the lava. Got rid of the iron pickaxe, now I'll use the ruby one. There's that ruby that fell. Got a bucket of lava. You can see those ones are now moving. It's because these are all source blocks that can only be used once, so now that I've taken that one, all the other ones are flowing into it. But I can never take lava from that spot again. Yellowite ore from extreme reactors. I've used yellowite before, but I don't think from that mod. I don't remember what mod it was from, but not that one. Alright. Oh, all of our trees have grown. Some of them at least. Cut them down a bit later. Got our lava. Okay, we'll fill that up. See, it fills up the buffer in there. And in here. So do I have... grab some iron ore. Where I put that? Actually, let's just go with some in my inventory. 16 more there. We want to make some kind of alloy. I think bauxite will do. I'm pretty sure it's a 3:1 ratio, so 3 copper, bauxite, put that in. You can see them in there. If you're looking at this, you can see how quickly things are melting. Apparently bauxite will not melt. I think I had find some aluminium somewhere as well. Osmium, iridium, magnesium, uranium, firebox, lead. I'm sure I mined some. Lead, yellowite, site, copper, aluminium with its new texture. So you can see that's molten copper in there now. If I jumped in there, that would hurt me. Pretty negligible. So if we chuck a bit of aluminium in there, you can see it melts a lot faster because it has a lower melting point. Copper. You can see everything is combining in here. So now I have molten aluminum brass, 2 ingots and 6 nuggets currently. Put a bit more aluminium in there. I think I got my ratios a bit mixed up. And another one. Alright, so I think I've still got some of those seared bricks floating around, which I do. So I need to make a casting table to begin with. We'll put under the faucet here. And then I don't remember what they're called, but there's a whole bunch of tables that I need. I need wood. Where'd that wood go? Dirt. It's wood. So I think I need blank slates. Which I need sticks as well. And then you go like that. Blank patterns, that is. 16 of them. I think if you put one on top of a plank, you get a stencil table. Make a chest. One on top of that. Pattern chest. Don't really need that, but what else was there? I think crafting table. Tool station. Pencil tool. I think I also need like a log. Do I have any uncut logs? 11. Log with one on top makes a part builder. How many planks left? No, I don't. Might as well burn the rest of those logs then. I'll make a pressure plate, which is not what I wanted. Slabs. Make drying racks. Use the drying racks, just slap them on the wall. And you can just hang tools off them. I think you can also hang other stuff. Not sure if that'll turn into something. I think you used to be able to turn it into like beef jerky or something. That might be a mod that's not in this pack. I don't really remember. But anyway, we're going to put these, slap them here for now. playing with me. Alright, so these are all the basics that you need. So you make patterns in here. How's this looking actually? Might have got it backwards. You might need 1 copper for 3 aluminium. So it's been too long. So to make a tool with Tinker's Construct, this is the smeltery I was talking about. You can see in the top in the whaler says it's Tinker's Construct. So you can make any kind of tool you want, which is shown in here. All these different things. There's also a tool station, which is a better version of this, which I'll need to make in the near future. But if you want to make a pickaxe, say you need a pickaxe head, then you would need a piece of binding and a tool rod. Now you got all 3 of those, you can make a pickaxe with it, which I will use later, but not right now. Sort everything. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be changing, so I guess that was a different mod. Going in here, nothing. This house is quite chaotic for me. Move everything over a bit. That'll do for now. Yeah, I've obviously got that completely backwards. Anyway, so I need an ingot to begin with, which I don't have any of. Have any iron floating around? Yes, 1. I also need redstone. I don't have any of. Not great. I'll deal with it. Annoying me that I didn't get that right. I think I need 1 more piece of aluminium to clear it out, and I don't think I've got any more aluminium. Could also use gold. Not cheap. Yeah, fairly certain, no more aluminium. No. So you get a piece of iron, slap that in there. If you click on something here, it'll swap. You can see in the background that it is swapping between the 2. Whatever's at the bottom is what will get drained first. So if you pour that over an item in here, it'll create a cast. I also burnt the iron ingot up, but now I've got an ingot cast. So if I put that down, if I wanted to drain some of this copper out, it'll make a copper ingot. Which is the same as if I was doing it in here, but we'll do it at a 2-to-1 ratio. Cool. I'll make another chest specifically for ingots, just so I know what I have built. Here it goes in. Let's make a... You can make a basin as well. Works similarly to what's in there. But instead of emptying a single ingot at a time, it does a whole block. Yeah. So all that liquid that was in there is, like, the data of it is stored in this controller. So if I break this controller, all that stuff will disappear, but because I broke the integrity of the structure on the side, when I recreate it, this will catch up again. I'll keep everything. I thought I could hear water. I just also realized that this has multiple... Last time I played, the drain would only have 1 face that could be drained from. This one apparently has multiple. So if I... Let's just get rid of that for now. Put a regular one back. Make sure this is... Yep. That faucet. That's really cool. Drain from both at once. Obviously this takes 9 times longer because it's taking 9 ingots out at once. How much we have in here? 4 more ingots worth. That'll probably... Took a bit longer to cool as well. You can see the colour change. Very bright yellow, slowly going duller and duller and duller until it's an ingot that I can actually handle. We'll take that out and it's a full block. and convert that directly into ingots. So I'll need to melt these back in the near future. I want to get iron in there first. I need all the capacity I can get at the moment. Check that in. You can see I've got 19 iron ore. I can only put 9 in at once because it occupies a physical block in the real world. I don't know if I won't take damage until it's actually molten. Dirt gone. Following me. What is that? But if I had more seared bricks and I built this up, say I built another layer all the way around, then I'd be able to put 18 blocks in instead of the 9. This is also taking longer to melt because iron has a higher melting point than aluminium or copper. Sort all that. So we'll keep that drain. Sure, I'll use it in the future when I start automating all of this stuff. But I'm quite chuffed by that. I did not know that was a thing. But I like it. So I want to build a hammer. We've got 2 blocks out of that. So 9 ingots, 9 pieces of ore went in. Like so. That's 8. The 9 went in, and that created 18 ingots. Bring them into here. What I want, I need 4 blocks to create the tool forge, which is the next upgrade for the tool station here, which will give me access to a hammer. So a pickaxe digs a 1x1, but a hammer will dig a 3x3. It's obviously far more efficient, and that's kind of the first step for actual proper mining, like strip mining. See it slowly cooling. That's a cool effect. That was never a thing when I used to play. It's a while. This lava seems to be lasting quite a while as well. I think it definitely consumes it for every process that it completes. At a very small rate. Let's chuck that in there for now. I've got more. Another chest. Gonna put it. Where are we gonna put it? For our ores. Stuff that can be used. I'll probably straighten all this stuff up. So I hate being unorganized, but obviously I'm inexperienced, so I'm just mucking around here. Not mean to do that. Chuck all that in. I think we need a single ingot more of iron. I'm gonna go back into my, actually there's probably some just in this cave. Don't need to go all the way back down into that ravine. Bit more aluminium, short on. I go down there. Limestone, where's that from? Chisel. I think that's just aesthetic. I don't think I've ever had an actual use for anything from chisel apart from looking nice. There's iron, easy. Just one skeleton. So I'll grab that. 4 pieces here, I think there was another 4 around the corner. Guarded by our little friend over there. He's actually little, I didn't realise he was. Got myself killed. Hold still. Not sure what. I assume that's just grass down there. Very interesting. I've never seen like an underground cave like that. I don't know if that's something that's been added new, or if that was just a freak. I knew that was here, I probably would have built down here, just because it's cool. Okay. Huh. These are experience orbs, you get them from multiple things, but killing enemies, mining, that kind of stuff. Really cool. Come back out. So we got our iron, which is all we needed. Head back up. I come down here? Yeah, I did. Chop out some of this so I can actually build with it. There are a few blocks in the game that have physics like this. There's gravel. Falls down. Down. Sand will do the same. You can place like an entity below it, so if I put a torch there, it'll just break on it. Completely lost. Back into the rain. There are red dots all over my map. I'm not sure if they're enemies or... I think they must be. Gone that way. Alright. So, iron. Let's chuck it all in, I suppose. Matter. Pull those two out. 3 of them. Seed brick. I think I need a bit more of that. So, gravel. Clay and sand. We've got none. No sand. Sleep. Can't sleep. Not actually night, it's just wet. We'll go and get some more sand. There's some just up here. Just to make a bit more. Get out of here, creeper. Make a bit more grout, because I need 3 of those seared blocks. I've only got enough for 2. Black pig. Do. I don't know if jumping actually makes you go faster or not, but it feels like it does. Oh, that was a bad decision. Run away! Half a heart warrior. Oh, I didn't make it. Killed by entity baby skeleton. I think that was the first death of the server. Death info. Tells you where he died. Okay. Tells me what I had as well. That from Gravestones mod. Yeah. That was my experience. I think you get like a portion of it back. That's my gravestone of my head poking out. And that waypoint's going to exist forever, so I need to work out how to do that. Oop. Let's set a waypoint. I don't want to set one. B. I'll have to have a look. Sure what mod we're using for the map where it shows up. Yeah. Oh. Interesting, you can just stick things to walls. I've never seen that before. Makes these kind of redundant. What is that? Monster jerky. I knew it turned into something. I assume you can eat that. I don't know how tasty it'll be, but there's a thing. Yeah, that waypoint. Doesn't tell you when you look at it. Okay. Okay. I don't know what I pressed to get here. So not what I wanted. Looks it was J. There we go. Get rid of that. Now it's gone. And I need a grout. I have 12 of each. More of that. Let's chuck it all in there, doesn't matter. One piece of coal. Not gonna be enough. In there. It's better. Yeah, we need not that. 2 more blocks of this. We need 1 more block of that as well. 3 of those, and I think a crafting station. I'm not sure, it might be something else. More blocks. How's this looking? Bring that out. 3. Come on. 4. So I need 4 blocks of iron. So once that cools, that'll be my 4th. Like watching iron dry. Come on. We'll find out if I remember correctly. But I need 1 of those for a second. Crafting table. No. Might be this that I have to use. Station. Not anymore. Just interrupting my flow. Thought that might melt. Doesn't. So tool station. There you go. Tool forge. Now I can see all these additional tools. And the hammer is the first thing we want. We'll just make it out of stone to begin with. Sign plate. We want a large plate. We want a hammerhead. I think we need tough binding. Tough rod as well. I don't know how much cobble I've got. A little bit. So, make it out of cobble. I think I can just do it. I don't need to. I think you need 2 plates. 1 rod, 1 binding, and 1 hammerhead. You come to here, go to hammer, put everything in. There you go, creates a hammer. So if it also shows you on the ground, it's 3x3 there, you can see that grid moving as I move the cursor. If I wanted to extend this wall. So much faster, see 9 times faster. That broke already, wow. Stone was definitely not that weak last time I used it. I think you can... So that repairs it. Yeah, you can see down the bottom that just destroyed the durability. Doesn't really surprise me, it's basically the very weakest tool that you could build. So it'll repair it again. But I think you can... Like if I made, say, an iron head. Do I have enough in there to do that? I do. So if I make an iron head, I should be able to replace it on the hammer. But I don't know. I know some mod packs let you do that, others don't. So we're going to find out. I'm going to chuck. Actually, we'll need... If I'm going to make an iron head, you can't just do that by hand. I'm going to melt one of those down. Means there was no reason to pull that iron out. In fact, I'm going to need to put it straight back in. That should get cleared out by clear lag eventually. Was in there? Or... Get rid of that flint. I just realised I didn't use that tough binding. I thought you had to. Really not. Don't need any more of that for now. It's going to take a while. Did that. I do want another chest because I don't think I've got in here. Can't. Another chest. And any spare parts, I suppose. Done yet? Yes. Yeah, to do that, I need to make another head, hammerhead, and like we did with the ingot before, put that in here, and basically run the molten aluminium over it, and that'll create a cast. Burn that up. I got enough iron in there. Now fill that up. I think that uses about eight ingots to do that. If you look at each of these, it says material cost on the bottom. So the material cost for the hammerhead is 8. And depending where you put these on the tool will depend on, or it'll affect how effective it is. So this should buff my durability a lot. Has the potential to make it slower and whatnot. There are books that will tell you everything about it, like in-game. But I would need to get some stuff to make those. Let's see if we can just combine it. Put that in, put that in. So it goes from a stone hammer to an iron stone hammer. Show the durability there. 61 of 61, or it was 20, so it's 3 times as good. Just still not very good. Also a bit faster because it's using iron. So clear out a bit of space with it. I think the more you use it, the more it levels up as well. So that broke again. Now I'm not sure if I need to use iron to repair that or if cobble will still do it. I think cobble still will. It's good for me because I'm just mining the shit out of cobble, so I've got plenty of it now. You'd also take the mining level of the head and apply it to anything you're mining. Just broke it again. Alright, let's see how big my house is at the moment. It's going to go 7 that way. You can also get the equivalent of a shovel that will do 9x9. Have that at the moment. I'm too lazy to take my pickaxe off the wall, so I'm just going to slap this with a pickaxe. That'll do. You can see it doesn't actually do any damage to the entities anymore because it's busted. Again. So I'm just going to dig this out into a cube and I'll probably call it for today. My voice is very sore and I imagine I've got a lot of footage, well over an hour, and I'll probably have to chop out 2/3 of it, God knows how much. Okay. Okay, the very modest beginnings. Bunch of trees. But our very basic smeltery. Pretty much as minimalistic as it can get. Although I don't know how much smaller these can get. I know you can make them a lot bigger. Like I've built them, I think 7x7 before. So this is 3x3, 7x7, and maybe like probably 7 deep as well. I did in a long time. So yeah, the absolute basics. That was a bit of fun. Very nostalgic to be playing this again. Still no one in here. I think it's a bit of a weird time for most people, but I'm sure in the near future I'll see a couple. Unless the new mod pack turns them off. Which I suppose there's potential for that. Yeah, How did I do that? Nope. Nope. Third person, there you go. There you go. Jesus, everything's inverted. Alright, I'll see you next time.